Did you call bank? I call game.
What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and we have our first trade of the next season, starting this season for some reason. Whenever there's a big trade in the NBA, I do it in NBA 2K19 and see how it goes. I'm supposed to be doing this trade for NBA 2K20, but because trades are already happening, I'm doing it for NBA 2K19. I'm going to see how these players are traded, who the players are traded, which team won the trade, simulate seasons, and things like that. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. Also, I'm doing a 75,000 VC giveaway for NBA 2K19. Now, I know that a lot of people just got it because it was like $3 right now, so they're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. So if you want a lot of VC to upgrade your My Player, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter and then tweet at me, done. You do those two things, I'll put you in a randomizer, and you can win 75,000 VC for any system you want for free. Now to talk about the trade, it is Crabbe and Taurean Prince, the Hawks and Nets traded each other, and let's see which team won the trade. So we're gonna look at the Atlanta Hawks now that they have Crabbe. Crabbe is considered the 7th best player, or tied for the 6th best player on the Atlanta Hawks, with Kevin and above Vince Carter. So Crabbe is a 74 overall in NBA 2K19, and this is what Crabbe does pretty well. He has a C inside scoring, B plus 3-point shooting. That's his main game, is he's a sharpshooter. Not the best defender according to 2K, but he has high potential. Now, he's already 26 years old. He's already in his prime. So I don't see him getting any much better, especially on the Hawks, which is a team that's like not very good. And there's other talent that can play above him, like Kent Bazemore and Kevin Huerter. According to 2K, he is going to start, though. They expect him to be the starting shooting guard for the team. I don't expect that to happen at all because, again, they have Kent Bazemore, who is raw and, well, not raw, but solid, very solid. And I don't know why he wouldn't start. But that's what they believe with Crabbe. They believe that he's going to be this starting shooting guard that's going to help the team out very well with Trae Young. Again, Crabbe isn't that bad. The Hawks aren't as bad. They're actually supposed to have a way worse record than they were because their team, talent-wise, isn't very good. But for some reason, they were getting actually a couple wins this season. They weren't one of the better teams in the NBA, but they were getting wins. I felt like they could have won a lot more games if they weren't trying to tank, but they were tanking all season. So, of course, they weren't getting a lot of wins. But Crabbe is a sharpshooter. Now, they do have shooters on the team. Again, Kevin is a pretty good shooter. Kent Bazemore is not the worst. Now, Crabbe has been kind of going downhill. Last season, he only had 10 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, and shooting awful field goal percentage. So, and that was on a good team. The Nets were a solid team, and he was doing really bad on the team. So, it makes 100% sense why they traded Crabbe, in my opinion. They need better talent to win more games in the playoffs because they struggled against the Sixers. Crabbe wasn't going to do that for them. I feel bad because I feel like he had talent. He has a really expensive contract, only 1 year left on it with $18 million. I don't know if he's a free agent or not. I'm actually not sure. So he might not stay with the Hawks. Maybe he will. But not the greatest trade in my opinion for the Hawks, but they did it. Now let's see what the Nets got in return. The Nets in return get Taurean Prince. So Taurean Prince is tied as the 6th best player on the team, tied with Ed Davis and DeMarre Carroll. And Taurean Prince is literally DeMarre Carroll. Like, they're literally the exact same player. A good defender that can shoot a little bit, and that's their game. Literally, look. Both have a solid inside scoring. Taurean Prince has a better mid-range. They both are pretty good 3-point shooters. Both are inside defenders, whatever. Their perimeter defense is pretty solid. I believe Taurean Prince is actually not that bad perimeter defense, but still. Playmaking, they're both pretty equal. Rebounding, they're equal. Now, Taurean Prince is more athletic, but he's also younger, to be fair. And IQ is lower than DeMarre Carroll. But they're not that different from each other. DeMarre Carroll is 6'8". Taurean Prince is 6'8". But the difference is DeMarre Carroll makes $15 million a year, and Taurean Prince makes $2 million. That's the big difference. So the Nets actually get a really solid player with Taurean Prince. He's actually had a great season last year, even though he didn't play a lot of minutes. 14 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on a solid field goal shooting percentage for a small forward. I think this is a great pickup for the Nets. This is a player they could definitely use. Again, DeMarre Carroll is only getting older. Taurean Prince is only getting closer to his prime. I think this could be a really good pickup for the Nets, believe it or not, especially to get Kyrie Irving and KD. They could have really solid bench players coming off the bench, scoring at will. According to NBA 2K19, though, Taurean Prince is only going to be the 9th man on the team. Ed Davis, Joe Harris, because Joe Harris is raw too. I mean, if they never get Kevin Durant, I see that Taurean Prince could totally start if he really does well with the Nets. I don't see why he couldn't. There was a time this season where Taurean Prince was literally a 78, almost an 80 overall, and I see him doing that again next season. He's really solid. I really think he's a really good player, and I think he could help the Nets out way more than we think. Now, I'm going to simulate a season. with the current rosters, not new rosters, and see how well the Nets do. See how much points per game do. Also, that Hawks, see how well Alan Crabbe does. I want to see how that goes. Let's see. So what I'm going to do now is simulate an entire season and see which team does better, the Hawks or the Nets. And I want to see how well they do and their points per game and stuff like that. So let's see what happens. Let's simulate the rest of the season. So after simulating the entire season, we see that the Brooklyn Nets are 41-41. They're a 500 team and they still don't make the playoffs because the Indiana Pacers had a better conference record. So we missed the playoffs even though we had the same record as the 8th seed. But the Nets still have the potential to make the playoffs, and if they were to make it, they would have played the Philadelphia 76ers again. That would have been pretty crazy. So they don't make the playoffs, and then the Hawks go 26-56. I don't know if that's better or worse than this season, but still not a great record. So let's look at the player stats first and then see what happens there. So for the Nets, Taurean Prince only averages 10 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist and a steal a game. That's it, with a 41% field goal percentage, basically. Not great for Taurean Prince, not even barely the third best small forward on the team, with Joe Harris doing better than him. That's what they're predicting. You know, I don't know if that's true or not. I think Taurean Prince has the potential to be very good for this team. And I don't know if I agree with you, 2K, on that one. I think Taurean Prince is pretty solid. I think he could be the best small forward on the team. This season, he would end up turning 25 years old, too. I don't know if I agree with it. I think he would do much better than what 2K is predicting. But they do believe that they would be good enough to be a 500 team still with Taurean Prince. So that's a pretty solid thing. This is the same numbers that Alan Crabbe was doing. So, I mean, really, the Nets don't improve at all, but let's see what the Hawks do. So Alan Crabbe does even worse than what he does on the Nets with the Hawks. He only gets 9 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. So basically worse, but a better field goal percentage with 41%, better than Taurean Prince. He's also the third best shooting guard on the team, just like Taurean Prince, the third best of this position in the game. Not good enough to be good enough. Both these players don't make that much of a difference, apparently. They're, according to 2K, the exact same player. I disagree, though. I do think Taurean Prince is better than Alan Crabbe. I think that he has a lot more potential, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Alan Crabbe's actually a baller, or maybe both of them actually suck and they don't do anything for the teams. We shall see. We shall find out next season, obviously, because we don't get to know until later. When I was using Taurean Prince in Play Now, I wasn't actually able to do Play Now online because 2K has not officially updated it, and they're not going to. They're going to wait for the next 2K, so 2K20, to start updating rosters. They usually do that after playoffs. They like stop updating anything. But right, doing Play Now, using Taurean Prince was actually pretty solid, pretty fun. For the most part, I found most of the situations to be mid-range shots. Even though his game isn't mid-range, it's 3-pointing and sometimes slashing. D'Angelo Russell does a good job of like creating a lot of like focus on him, and then if you do pick and roll with Jared Allen, you can usually find Taurean Prince open in some situations. I try to drive with Taurean Prince and he does okay sometimes. For the most part, I feel like the only shots that he really got that were the best were mid-ranges and then sometimes threes, but you had to create your own shot when it came to making three-pointers with Taurean Prince. That was like the only situations I found that I thought were really effective to use him. So when NBA 2K20 comes out, you can use Taurean Prince Play Now online in those situations. Now, personally, I think of all the small forwards on the team, I'm going to suggest using Taurean Prince, but Joe Harris isn't the worst option either because Joe Harris' three-point shot is ridiculous. But Taurean Prince is solid too. Now with Alan Crabbe, it's a different situation. I found that he played much better slashing and also three-point shots. I also believe that Alan Crabbe can start. I'd rather start Kent Bazemore, but Alan Crabbe can start if you really needed him to. He's going to be better as a first option off the bench, so in my opinion. A lot of situations here is Trae Young would go all around the court, and then randomly find Alan Crabbe. For Alan Crabbe to do pick and roll situations to drive, or he'd be wide open to hit a good three. Alan Crabbe actually has the ability, because his jump shot's pretty fast, to make some pretty ridiculous threes, even if they're contested. He also made some really crazy contested in the paint shots. I was actually pretty surprised he could make those. But for the most part, you're going to want to use Alan Crabbe in three-point shooting situations, and sometimes you can drive with him and he will hit those. Besides that, mid-ranges weren't really working too well. Anything else I would not recommend with Alan Crabbe. That's his game, and I think you should stick with it, and that's the best way to use him effectively. What do you guys think, though? Do you think this trade is cash or trash? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like my channel, give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time. Also remember that if you want to win the giveaway, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter and tweet at me done. You do those two things, you can win 75,000 VC for free, and this only lasts for 2 days, so tomorrow it's going to end. So if you get no direct message on Twitter by tomorrow, that means you didn't win. Okay guys, see you guys next time.
Did you call back?